this load for much longer.
Hey folks, this is Babbaginator. We're in the Long Dark, currently hanging out in Transfer Pass. And I think we're going to head out. That's the plan. Poop-a-choo. We're taking all our magic stuff with us. Is there anything we really want? No. Light enough that we don't need the travois, so we'll save the travois condition for later. Whoop. Acorns. Might as well take them. So I think this is our second last stream on this challenge. I think we'll get another 4 or 5 days tonight. And then we'll just have 4 or 5 days left. And then it's a new challenge. So we should finish up Saturday night, I think. I have to double check to see if I have anything else going on, but I think Saturday night.
I'll take it.
Don't need it. What can we eat here? And we're out. Now into
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Forsaken Airfield, our last region. We have, I believe now, 8 days left? Yes, 8 days left. We spent all that time forging and crafting arrows, and the reality is, because there are no wolves, there's very little that we need to hunt. Like rabbits, we just use the regular fire-hardened arrows, ptarmigans, fire-hardened arrows. Deer. Yeah, but usually we can recover an arrow after 1 or 2 shots. I don't need 25 arrows. Are we hunting bear? Maybe, maybe not. Moose? Moose take up a lot of arrows. Eventually.
I think I can use this.
I'll throw this in here for people who are new. I'm Babbaginator, I stream The Long Dark, and we are currently doing this challenge. You know nothing! But the truth is, we know a fair bit now. We figured out a lot of stuff. So this is a completely randomized custom run in which we know nothing about the settings when we start the run, since we started with just the code. Originally, I had wanted something that would just generate codes, but it turns out that the process by which TLD, like by the game, generates codes in a much more convoluted way than I expected. So, could not randomize that process without reverse engineering the hash that they use to make the code. So, I chose instead to randomize the actual settings and then Once you have those settings, you can punch them in to a TLD custom run and export out the code. And I did that several times. There's now a bank of 10 different random survival codes. And I put them into a separate generator. Well, actually, it's at the bottom of the first generator. And it just spits out one of those survival codes. And you can, instead of entering in all the settings, you can just enter in the setting code and hit enter or start and get a completely randomized custom setting run where you don't know what the settings are and have to figure it out as you go. And there are some doozies in there. There's some really crazy codes in there. This one is pretty tame. This one has some small challenges, but for the most part is not that bad. But it is a run with no wolves, which definitely has slowed down harvesting, shooting. The harvesting, archery, and cooking have all been slowed down because I don't have access to as many things. I'm not killing things constantly and cooking them. I mean, should we go? We probably should make a trip to figure out how to access the Sundered Pass. Oops. Sundered Pass. And then go there so that we technically have opened it up, and then we can choose to spawn there later. Hey. We're only 4 followers away from a nice round 600 follower mark. Big wide open space here. Walking in the winter wonderland. Walking in the winter wonderland.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Okay. Ooh. Okay, I think I'll link it to the trailer. Yeah. It's not even half an hour. I'm already getting a little drifty, a little sleepy. Going the right way? Yeah. Bunnies everywhere. I'm good for now. Okay. Now. Okay. Keep moving. There we go. Shelter for the night. Okay, we don't need all this coal. What's this one? Ah, there's our box of crackers to celebrate. There we go. Our day 50 box of crackers will be that one. We are at lucky 13 now.
I can barely walk with this much gear. This'll come in handy. Best be prepared for anything.
Ah, that's not what I want. Sleepy already.
Never know. Could end up being useful.
Okay, we'll see in a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna go take a short bio break. We'll be back. Okay, back. Ooh. Oh, there's a hydrant. Good to see you, Roller. Welcome back in. We went through all this stuff.
I'm not gonna be able to carry this load for much longer.
Oh, that's useful. How was your day? Okay, good to see you, EG. Baba bark, bark, bark. And a hydrate. Yeah, airfield first. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Guess we'll use this one. I think we'll go to last. We'll go to the new region last. In terms of finishing the challenge, all we had to do is make it to airfield. But we have to make it 50 days, so we may spend day 51 going into new region, or we might go earlier. Let's see here. Okay, fire log. Yeah, I got a little news that threw a little wrench into my plans for my summer or for my fall housing. I've been working with 2 other people looking for apartments or like suites, whatever, someplace to stay for fall and spring for the coming year. And one of our people ended up deciding to move in with other friends. So suddenly that sent us from all the work we did searching for 3-bedroom places now back to 2-bedroom places, or possibly going back to the 3-bedroom look and having to find a 3rd person. So, joy. So these are pretty bad. I think we'll cook them, but we won't eat them. Yeah, so. Ooh, that's true. We could go just to see if the timber wolves are there. Hours. I think we still have our. Yeah, we do. Oh, we need an update. We found another box of crackers. Huzzah. We're on day 42 now.
Feels like night is coming.
Okay, time for forage. I don't really need to make anything else. I guess I'll make water. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. The only problem is the other person that I will be rooming with doesn't arrive in country until August 22nd. So I'm basically conducting the apartment search on my own. And hopefully they can put their, like, send me the money for the deposit even before they get here. But yeah. So that'll be a little bit more challenging. But yeah, they're out of country completely. Okay, how much water can we drop?
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
So no more cougar. I have to wait to see what the next incarnation cougar is. 33 herbal teas, 33 coffees. Yeah. See what the weather looks like out there.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Okay, let's see where we're going now. Okay. It's time for us to deploy.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Okay, plan is to go to the hangar. So I was bored earlier, and I decided to watch. I was looking for something to watch on Amazon Prime while I was working on something. So I was looking for like a relatively no-brain action film to watch. And oh boy, did I find one! Oh boy, I watched Chuck Norris in Logan's War, which is really schlocky 1980s Americana. With these incredibly bad transitions where this you see an eagle fly by, you know, in the background. Well, not in the background, and like as this is like a filter or screen transition. It's just weird. Oh boy. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's would not recommend. It wasn't terrible, but it was definitely made for TV and definitely very dated and yeah. Little boy is the sole survivor of a mob hit against his family. His father was the DA, and he has some extrasensory ability, like a danger sense that allows him to detect things in advance. And it turns out that Chuck Norris also has it. His uncle, Chuck Norris also has it. Yeah, it's definitely Logan's Ruin. It's definitely like Chuck Norris needed to pay some bills, and Walker, Texas Ranger was coming to an end. So he picks up some of these made-for-TV movies and does them, hoping that it'll spin off into something else, and it never does. Yeah. It ends with Chuck Norris launching himself through the air to do a double, like both feet through the windshield of the mob boss's car, and killing the mob boss with that strike, which is like the dumbest thing ever. It's like, really? Shatters the windshield and kicks him to death. Like, but the other thing that's like makes no sense whatsoever is, so the boy at the start of the movie is like 9 years old, right? And then ends up living with Uncle Joe, I can't remember what his name is. But basically, you know, with Chuck Norris. And Chuck Norris's father-in-law, because Chuck Norris is a former Army Ranger who lost his wife to cancer and lives with his father-in-law on this gigantic ranch. And so Chuck Norris comes and adopts or takes in the boy who's the only survivor. Logan is the only survivor. And Logan, before they take off to go to the ranch, Logan insists that they swing by a house. And it's the house that belongs to the mob boss and the mafia boss. And Logan, the 9-year-old, tells his uncle, you know, when the uncle says, "Oh, whose house is that?" And Logan says, "That's the house of the man I'm going to kill." Like, what? 9 years old. He's like, he's going to come back for revenge. I'm going to kill him someday. Him and all his gangsters that killed my parents and my
this
sister.
Stuff will come in handy.
It's kind of a silly thing. And so anyways, he gets adopted, goes, lives with, you know, his uncle, Chuck. And decides that he wants to learn how to fight. which then leads to this training montage and a series of kicks and punches. Then suddenly there's this transition mid-kick where he turns into this 21-year-old. So it goes from 9 to 21 as sort of this transition of time. But none of the actors look any different. It's only the boy goes from 9 to 21 in like a blink of an eye. and Chuck Norris looks exactly the same. The father-in-law looks exactly the same. Like, apparently, you know, these 12 years pass by without having any incident, any impact on them physically. It's only the boy that suddenly grows up and looks like he's already a martial artist. And the boy decides that, who's now a man, decides that he's going to go to become an army ranger like his uncle. And so he goes off, becomes an army ranger, does Chuck Norris-like stuff, comes back with a distinguished service cross, and retires from the army because he's decided that he's going to go finally take care of unfinished business back in Chicago. And everyone knows what that means. It's so silly. Yeah.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Would I recommend it? Almost certainly not. That was like... Chuck Norris movies have not aged at all. They have not aged well.
This stuff will come in handy.
I think there's a handful of them that... It's like Steven Seagal. You should not go back and watch Steven Seagal movies. They do not age at all. Or they don't age well. Like... Yeah, it's like, it's so 80s cliche. Everything, as many cliches as possible packed in. And as much as like, it's 1980s, height of like, buy America, think America, everything has to be America, America. Because it's this reaction to the threat of losing sort of a global dominance, when it comes to like the automobile industry and global manufacturing having an impact against American sort of industries. So yeah, you have this like everything is like touting sort of the another flight jacket.
I'll take it.
Look at that. Oh, this one's even better condition than the last one. But we don't need it. Noise. Whoa, this place comes with noisemakers? What?
I think I can use this.
I don't even have to make them? I don't think... Well, now we know what our fireworks are going to be at the end of this. Let's see if we blow ourselves up playing with noisemakers. Yeah, it's making us want to go and deal with Timberwolves. Not especially, but a little bit. Just a tiny bit. After day 50, these are throwaway runs, Painkillers, gift bar. Oops. At the front of the vehicle.
gonna use this? Hope nobody needs this anymore.
I can see them, I just can't get to them. Yep, can't get to them. Maybe we'll just check in on these guys. What can we eat now? Oh, that's gonna be heavy. Just want to be certain we don't miss anything. We're going to have lots and lots of pancakes.
Probably useful.
Wow. Don't need metal. Do without wood. Oh, so much water. Too much water. Four. What do we have here? Aviator camp. Already got one. Stim. Yeah, we'd be better off if we weren't carrying all the water and also a full gas tank. Gas canister. So yeah, I will have to think. Plan. Figure out what I'm going to do. For housing. But the plan is to move in August. My lease here runs out September 1st. But there's a chance that whatever I get will probably be only partially furnished, or might not be furnished at all, in which case I will need a few days or a few weeks to get the furniture I need for the place. Yeah, so the first thing I'll do is I'll build a fire. I'll make some torches, yeah. I guess that's what I was forgetting to do here. Well, that's only 1 liter's worth. That's fine then. Oh, yeah, that's That's a possibility. I'm not certain. Well, let's see. I'll be in two places at the same time in August. I will have this place until September 1st, and then I will be in the process of moving into the new place. Most likely, I will leave my gaming rig here and have it be one of the last things I move. And just plan on sleeping here on the on-campus place until I've got all the furniture set up there. So, but yeah, next week school starts up again, or like the second term of summer starts. So I will have a twice a week class, but it's going to be a Python class, intro to Python. Yeah, I might. I think, well, I'll get the, yeah, it might take me a week to get the internet set up in the new place. Unless it comes with it. And if it comes with it, hopefully it's high speed. Okay, let's see if we can make our life a little bit easier here. Look, there's a hammer here. We could forge here. Do even more forging. What would we do with all that? Okay, so stuff we don't need. We don't need to carry around this. I think we can leave these aside for now. Just remember to come back for them. We want the extra pot for making water. Just why are we so heavy? It's water and food, right? Where are these different sizes? What's going on here? Why? Why are they in like their 50s instead of... Why? What's going on? Or are these oversized and this is the right size? What's going on? That's weird. Okay. One's either oversized or the other ones are undersized. But the undersized ones, I think, I dropped 1 liter and they ended up becoming 250s. So... Okay. Stuff we can do. Drop this guy. Okay. You're saying way longer darks? What? What are you talking about here? Welcome in. We are doing, if you're brand new to the challenge, or the channel, we are doing a custom challenge called You Know Nothing, which is basically a completely randomized custom setting. It is a completely randomized setting. We are doing custom run. We don't know any of the settings because we randomly generated a code and just went with it. So we have to survive 50 days. We have to forge. We have to travel from our starting location to a location as far away from the starting location as possible. And that's where we end our 50 days. Along the way, we try to do some other fun things. Let's see, we're going to make some potatoes. The quintessential cake stand. Just gonna get rid of our stuff here. Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, and he did it. He achieved it. You know, we're coming up on the end of this challenge. There is, somewhere in my random codes, it's possible to get an endless night run that I think has very high wolves and very high bears and very high moose. And it's not passive wildlife, so... One day, someone's going to get that one and be miserable. It's like... I've never done Endless Night as a challenge, just like to do one where it never gets to daylight. Okay, potato, hot potatoes. Glimmer fog is out there, I think. So I think we said that after this challenge wraps up, we are going to do a misery run, just so we get to experience that. And then my vote is that we do another You Know Nothing run, but it's You Know Nothing Roll With It edition. Combine two of our most entertaining challenges into one. What do you think about that, Roller? Roll With It, You Know Nothing edition, or You Know Nothing Roll With It edition? And with my luck, we get Endless Night, you know. 300 days of fumbling, yeah. The Glimmer Fog is back. Do we need all of these? No. That's probably enough. Are we going to need the rest of these? No. Are we going to need the rest of these? No. Need to make any leather repairs? Probably not. We're at 53. Will we need any more of these? Probably not. Will we need more of these? Probably not. Okay, let's see here. Noisemakers. Do we want to use those? No, I was just saying we probably don't even need all this tea either. Okay, I'm going to check and see if our hide is done. We need to go get that other wolf. 64. Yeah, let's go get it.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Okay. I don't know where we want to go, so we're just going to go straight there. I don't think there's enough time left. 6 days. How long does it take for the wolf to cure? Is it 5 days for a wolf? Yeah, I want to know. Long dark wolf cure time is 7 days. Okay, so even if we get it, we won't be able to make the wolf coat. Okay. Woohoo. 7 days. Too long. We're not going to get the wolf. We were going to do that as a bonus, but I don't think it's going to happen for us. Well, we don't even have 7 days. We only got 6 days left. Well, the challenge ends on day 50, so I just don't think we're going to get a chance. You know, numbers-wise, we're just not going to have time to craft it. But I know where it is. Just have to go to that cave. Hey, Psychotic Deer, good to see you. We're going out to get a relic. The wolves are extinct, so we have to get the last wolf hide that we know about in this region. But sadly, we don't have enough time left in our run to wait for it to cure and then turn it into a wolf coat. We're so close. But we might as well get it, at least to say that we got 4 of them. Yeah, we spent all that time and energy hauling those wolf hides here, only not to have enough time to turn it into a coat. It's a turncoat. It is a betrayal. Oh, the moose is up. That would be overkill for food. Yeah, neither have I. Not off stream, not on stream. Okay, focus, focus, focus. You want to get the wolf. Yeah, that's what I heard. There's like something like 5 packs that all end up overlapping in a couple places. I'm like, oh no. Last thing you want is wolves converging. Oh, I wonder if this means if they took the cougar out, do we have to disable the... have to change my generator yet again to go back to using not cougar spawn, but fish spawn? Yeah, you can turn scurvy off and on. Yeah, I gotta look for that cave. You can see the cougar run at you, growl even. I think there's got to be a good compromise. From what I've seen, of the original implementation for the cougar, I'm not like a huge fan of that. I understand what they were trying to do, but I feel like there should be at least one pre-attack confrontation, even if the window of success is really tiny, just that you have the chance. Is this the cave? Somewhere in here? Looks like there should be a cave tucked away in here. Yep, there's the cave. Well, I mean, the truth is, often you don't. That's the problem with the cougar. It is an incredibly stealthy creature. Oh, there's usually a wolf carcass. Okay, there we are. I was gonna say, there's usually a wolf carcass.
This would be good for anything.
Don't need anything else. Just came for our trophy. Okay, the question is, do we march all the way back? I think we stay the night over here, and then we march back. Oh, look at that! There's a bear, too. Bears are really rare. And there's deer out as well. Oh, and there's limmer fog out as well. Maybe we're going to hide in the cave. Well, we saw him and then the fog came in, so we can't even hunt him. Are we below ground? We're not below ground here, are we? We're underground, but we're not underground. That's lame. Nope, still pretty foggy. Yeah, I think we'll just stay put. Don't want to bump into something in the fog and lose our run just before we finish. Yeah, if it wasn't Glimmer Fog, we would have been tempted to hunt the bear, or hunt the moose. But now we really aren't going to get the hide cured. Oh, it will cure here. Okay, that's good to know. Dog food and potatoes. Still early. Do we make pancakes? Oh, we don't have any flour. Well, that changes things. Anything else need repair? Maybe this guy. Probably interrupt her sleep. Oh, we healed. Lucky us. Yeah. Although I think that sometimes you should still be pops up and runs at you for attack. Yeah. I think it has to be really quick, super quick, so that you, unlike the bear or the wolves, I think the cougar has to be, one, not deterred by fire, and two, so you don't get it stopping its animation. It just charges you, and that's it. And no, so you have this tiny window to fire on it.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Okay. Oh yeah, it would. Definitely would. Hey, I'm not saying that I'm going to like it. I'm just saying that it should reflect its difficulty level. And like, unlike the wolf and the bear, you just don't hear it. There's no sound cues before it attacks. Or maybe there's like a... Yeah, there's no sound cues. The cougar doesn't announce itself before it attacks. It attacks and then announces itself.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
We want to go all the way back. How are we doing now for stuff? We're not going to get to cooking 5. Oh, let's see where we're at here. 44. We have 6 days left. Yep, teacher.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
This is just us being murderers, killing off Bambi's extended family. They're all going to sleep. Oh, you're going away. Okay. Wow. I'm doing really great here. Trail of bodies. Hunt the bear too?
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
I mean, the truth is, we do have a travois. We just could harvest all of them. Are we gonna get jumped? Nope. Bear is far away. Where's the bear now? Nope. Went by. Coming back or not? Oh, this guy's too frozen now. It's too windy to do it. I guess we could do it the other way, huh? The first step is to figure out whether or not we're going to have issues with the bear. Is the bear passive or is the bear aggressive?
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Let me just move all this over. Makes it easier.
The owner's around.
Oh, new badges. Oh, there's a bear. Oh, it ran away. We didn't hit him. We missed. What's he doing? What are you doing, buddy? Moving slow? Yeah, immune to a cabin fever would make a huge difference. Okay, he's coming closer. Oh, this time we hit him. There we go.
I'll take it.
See if he comes back and bothers me. Nope, he hasn't fallen over yet. I'm guessing he's down now. Did we get him? Nope, he's not down yet. Where'd he go? Anyways. Go back to our cave. We need more firewood.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Okay.
Come on, little fire. Come on. Perfect.
Oh, we should have put it in the pot. Oh well. It's okay. Okay. Is our bear officially dead? What? Our bear's not dead yet? Man. Hope he didn't despawn. Minutes. Blind Bargain. It was a different time. Yeah. I remember when I first started playing the game in late beta, back in 2017, February, I think it was. I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, the game does not hold your hand. And I was so confused about like how different things worked. Like how to make torches, for instance, all sorts of things like that. Yeah. And look at us now. We're like so far away from that time. Okay. 17. Cash on demand. We haven't had that redeem in ages. Okay. So here we are. We are on day 45. We have 5 days left in this challenge. If you're hanging out with me on this challenge and are new to this challenge, or new to this channel, sorry. This is the challenge. You know nothing. So several weeks back, we... yeah, I don't have enough rocks to make a cache. Several weeks back, I wrote a little random generator to create completely randomized custom runs in TLD. And then I used that to create a bunch of settings, punch them into TLD custom, and save out the codes. So I had another array of just survival codes, custom codes. And we randomly chose one of those for this run. So we don't remember anything about the settings. We didn't double check. We just hit the code in and then hit enter and started the run. So we've had to figure everything out. So what we figured out so far, so we have to survive 50 days, and things that we have to do: we have to forge arrowheads, we have to craft a new bow and arrows, we have to survive 50 days, figure out as much as we can about the settings, and then we have to exit our last territory has to be as far as we can go from the starting territory. So we started in PV, so we decided we'd exit in Airfield. Yeah, so things we figured out on this run over the last several streams. We figured out there are no wolves at all. So we have no wolves in this run. Wildlife appears to be passive. We did start with a high baseline resource level, which was very, very helpful. Fishing was high, maybe, or we were very lucky the first day. The first day we went fishing, we caught 9 fish. And then it's been nothing since then. So maybe it's not high. Medium starting gear, no birch bark tea recovery. Bears low, we've only seen 2 bears this entire run. And we just shot one earlier, which we hope is going to bleed out soon. And we know that moose are low too. They're pretty rare to begin with. We just saw 1 moose. Weather does not get worse over time. It doesn't seem like that. And full-blown blizzards don't seem to happen, although we do get pretty foggy and snowy, heavy snow, but no blizzard. So this has been pretty kind. Yeah. And then every few days I go and run the generator and create some new custom codes. People are welcome to use the generator for fun, try it out, see how far they go. Yeah. It's a very simple thing, but it's fun. It's silly, and some of the custom codes are really, really broken. I remember I put one in there and it turned out that it was Endless Night very high wolves, very high timber wolves, very high bears. I was like, this is going to be a nightmare. And I think no rabbits, no deer. So I was like, oh no, that's just going to be terrible. So terrible. Alright, so let's see. Did our bear die? Bear is dead! Huzzah! And we probably should update our sort of our rampage here where we killed all these deer. So we killed 5 deer just tonight. Well, 4 deer just tonight. Machine gun style. Plowed them all down. They were all hanging out on the lake. So we're at 5 deer. Killed a bear. Yeah, I mean, it's well written and engaging. I love the open sandbox. I enjoyed the story. Oh, it's a long process. I think they talk about the fact that it's just they eventually had to split the story mode from the sandbox mode because testing became horrific. You know, trying to balance everything to make the story mode work while also ensuring that the survival sandbox was still working properly. And there's delays, you know, if you're trying to serve both audiences at the same time. So I think that's definitely a part of it. Uh-oh. That was weird. My browser did a weird thing. Okay. So anyways, yeah, I think we're going to wrap up here. It is late for me. We need to get poor Astrid some sleep. But next stream is the big celebration. We will break the 50 days on this run and finish the challenge. And then we will, I think we'll do a misery run after that because we're foolish. Oh dear, someone else's poem. Okay. Poem from one of my friends. Okay, so on this channel, people can redeem a couple different redeems, or a few different redeems. One is they can get me to read someone else's poetry. I am a writer, I'm the author of 2 books of poetry, and I love contemporary poetry. Probably not all of it. There's obviously some things that I think are... That's an actual blizzard. I didn't think we got blizzards. Wow. Okay. Pick up our stuff. Oh, I wonder if that means that we're going to lose all the carcasses out there. That'd be a shame. Okay. Okay. Maybe we should just leave this down. Yeah. Wait another hour. Still not done. Okay, well, we'll finish there. But we'll read something. let us see what we can read. Poem by a friend. Trying to think who would be good to hear from. Oh. Okay, let's try. Okay, so let's try a poem from Brendan Constantine, who's an old friend of mine from Los Angeles. Absolutely fantastic writer and performer, and just a really funny guy. But his poetry is outstanding, and not always funny. Most of the time, there's something wry to it, something humorous. But we'll see. This is "What's Not to Love," as published in Poetry Magazine back in November 2020. What's not to love about a broken bowl, now 2 half bowls, still ready to hold what they can, even if that's nothing? What's not to love about weeds and weeds and weeds that crowd the yard and thrive amazingly on the same nothing? What's not to love about a virus crowding the blood, putting a doll of itself in each cell and sailing it away to find fortune in the heart? What's not to love about the dying heart, with its 4 dark rooms full of grass and broken china, a sheeted piano about to play? What's not to love about a sonata played by a lonely child who would rather do anything else, sleep in a garden or pull up the flowers, who would rather be sick? What's not to love about reading aloud to someone fast asleep, about not stopping, not even when a bowl slides from the bed and crashes like a bell in water? But yeah. So anyways, I just love Brendan's imagination. He just takes us some really interesting places. Often he'll begin with a phrase that seems vaguely familiar, and then he twists it and turns it and takes it into stranger and stranger places. We're also going to read one of my poems as well to wrap up and get a little bit of someone else and me, and then the end of the night. Okay, so this is from my second book of poetry, Babbage's Dream, published by Sundress Publications in 2017. This poem is called Break. And is inspired by programming terms. In this case, break is a reference to, among various things, if you're using case statements in C++, you would use a break, but there is also, break is just sort of an interruption of the normal flow of the program. So a forced exit out. Break. The days circle round and round, unstoppable, until the office seems like a hard country, your ergonomic chair a poor conveyance to the land asleep. No one stops you when you slip out from behind your desk to wander the half-lit halls after dark, with arms and hands swinging in an intricate and imaginary gun ballet of exhaustion and poor taste. Something fails in such moments, your body no longer wholly yours, inhabited instead by some stuttering shadow of motion unwillingly bound to the world of intangible labor. The hour is late, and you have already left what remains of yourself in the draining sink in the bathroom mirror that refuses your gaze. Everything is on the verge of disappearing, you think. Everything moves towards the raw edge of time where anxious factories loom like great trees in a storm about to break. The end is almost here. You can sense it on the horizon, how it hangs over you, heavy, faceless, like the imminent demise of a star whose last brilliant flare will arrive long after the earth has gone its own way into the dark. And whatever was you and the life you lived will have slipped free of the wheel at last, and found some sort of respite from samsara, from this continual remaking, this constant arising and going forth into the broad and echoing world, patiently awaiting its destruction. In your waking dreams, you see your father as a young man on a hillside with a shovel and rake, clearing a path to hold back a fire. How simple it seems, his task always at hand, crafting a middle way between what would consume us and what would leave us be. That's Break. And yeah, so obviously the poem is partly a meditation of like the many different ways break can be inhabited or interpreted. I'm drawing on my own personal experiences as someone who used to work in the computer games industry as a programmer and worked horrific hours. Like by the end, our crunch period, well, so normal work weeks were around 40 to 50 hours. And then when we got into crunch time, it was 60, 70, 80, and occasionally a 94-hour work week. Sometimes a 19-hour day followed by a 22-hour day. And that is not healthy at all. That does push you to the point of breaking. But of course, part of this too is the break that we take from work, where we leave that cubicle and try to escape, you know, even if it's for 5 minutes or 15 minutes, to try to get some escape and then come back and have to deal with whatever we're dealing with. So there's that other type of break happening in here. There's a psychotic break of like, you find yourself doing something. I literally, that was me. I'd been watching too many John Woo movies. And then one night I was just like so stressed out. I was just walking through the hallways, not thinking about what I was doing, but I kind of was in this like hand gesture movement as if I were in some sort of John Woo movie. And one of my coworkers caught me and said, "You probably don't want to do that. That's going to send the wrong signal." And so it's like, oh, I guess that would. And it's like, I'm not thinking straight. That would be a bad thing to do. And then finally, there is the fire break. My father once told me a story about when he was a young man, probably just barely out of being a teenager, back home in the Okanagan Valley in Penticton, BC, that there was forest fires that came down towards their town, and everyone went out with their shovels and hoes, and they cleared a section of land where we could set a fire to burn up what was flammable before the forest fire could get there. And so that's a different type of break. So yeah. And Kit Kat breaks. No, we didn't have any Kit. That's corporate sponsorship. I would have to be paid more to do that. Yeah. Anyways, that's a little behind the scenes on the poem. If you feel so inclined to check out more, you can learn more about Babbage's Dream here. If you enjoyed the Brendan Constantine poem, you can find it here. And I guess what's left is that we need to go and find someone to raid. So let's see here. Let's go find someone to raid. Okay, so what do we got here? Kimi Ota. So there are people still doing cougar hunts. I don't know if that's even possible. Do they just roll back? I think we can go visit Ocelot. So Ocelot is one of the first streamers that popped into my channel way back when. I'm not certain. I think it is possible to roll back, but time machine it, I think is there's a Hinterland provides us a time machine to kind of try a different version of the game. So I'm wondering if that's what they're doing. Anyways, we'll get this raid going. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you had a good time. We're going to head on over, visit visit Ocelot, see how they're doing on their misery run. And I'm going to get some sleep because I have to be up early. So we'll see you all probably tomorrow night, I think is the plan, for the wrap up of this challenge. And then we will begin something new. Misery, I think.